What's up everybody, this is Sharyar and welcome to All of Your Business. We are standing in the bright sunlight and we are going to talk about the fuel prices and all the economic developments happening across the country and across the globe with our guest, Mr. Mehtab Haider. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum assalam.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine.
Sir, are you enjoying the sunlight?
Of course, it's beautiful.
And the changing weather of Islamabad?
Yes.
That's very magical.
Of course.
Sir, I would like to ask you the first question, that is, Pakistan has been assured of continued diesel jet fuel supplies by Kuwait amid the ongoing crisis. Sir, does that mean that we're not going to see as much as crisis as we were thinking?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much for having me. As we have given assurances by Iran for the smooth sailing of passing through the Strait of Hormuz of 20 vessels, but jet fuel was facing a crisis-like situation. So Kuwait Petroleum has given assurances that they will be allowed to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, and Kuwait Petroleum Limited and Pakistan's petroleum minister has recently met with the Kuwaiti ambassador, where they have given these assurances. So we have seen the smooth supply of petrol and other commodities, as well as the jet fuel, as well as the diesel. Now Pakistan is in comfortable position on account of supply situation, but pricing is another issue which we will discuss in later part.
Sir, what are the future implications of it?
The
What's
future,
the bilateral relationship with Kuwait?
because Pakistan was facing a crisis-like situation on account of the jet fuel. Because earlier the PIA was complaining that, and they are asking that for the smooth sailing, they need smooth supply of the jet fuel as well as the reduced prices. One issue is resolved, and that is the smooth supply of the jet fuel, because it will enable them to continue their operation uninterrupted. But the prices is another area which is a matter of concerns for the consumers and for Pakistanis.
Right. So since we are talking about the fuel prices, the oil industry has opposed a new fuel pricing formula. So first I would like to ask you that what is the new pricing formula that we are talking about, and what does this opposition means?
Actually, at the moment, the government of Pakistan has started reviewing the prices on weekly basis. So the Petroleum Dealers Association was, although supporting it, but there is another demand from the IMF that more frequent reviews should be done. So there are different formulas which are under consideration at the moment, because we have seen that despite increasing 55 rupees per liter, consumption has gone up. In Pakistan, there is an increase in consumption by almost 25%. So now the government is exploring different options, because in last 3 weeks, government of Pakistan has provided rupees 125 billion rupees subsidy. Now they are going to initiate a targeted subsidy, but overall the prices are expected to be increased.
Okay.
Slight burden will be shared with the masses in coming weeks. So, and another thing which is under consideration, that instead of taking inventory stocks for calculation of the prices, now they will review on the basis of the international price. Whichever is prevalent in the international market, it will be passed on to the consumers, or that burden will be shared with the consumers. So these changes are likely to be occurred.
Right. So since you talked about the burden sharing with the citizens of Pakistan, so how much digit we are talking about regarding the prices?
Actually, it is yet to see that how much government is going to absorb the subsidized prices for the motorbikes and for rakshas, and how much the government is going to pass on the burden to the consumers.
Right.
There is one thing that center and provinces have agreed to share the burden. Ministry of Finance and Government of Pakistan at the central level has earmarked around rupees 154 to 158 billion rupees. And the provinces have also agreed, the four provinces have also agreed to share, allow the center to deduct around rupees 200 billion
Right.
from their share in the NFC for provision of this targeted subsidy for the motorbikers as well as the rickshaw owners. But it is yet to see how this subsidy will be disbursed. Different formulas and mechanisms are currently under consideration at the federal level, as the Ford Center has sought the data of motorbikes from the excise departments of the provincial governments, so that they have the accurate data, and then they are going to decide the subsidized rate and its mechanism.
Right. So my next question and topic was the same that you talked about, was that the provinces to share oil subsidy burden under the NFC formula. So now my question is that what do you think could be the challenges for Pakistan in doing so, and what do you think what could be the benefits for the citizens of Pakistan under this?
Actually, this it depends on the duration of the crisis.
Right.
As talks are also expected, and Pakistan is going to play a pivotal role in this regard, as the Deputy Prime Minister of Pakistan has been visiting China to explore different truce related possibilities. But this crisis really depends on how much time it's going to persist. For 4 to 6 weeks period, the government is going to allocate a spare resources from the federal divisional pool under the NFC award, as well as we have seen that the public sector development program was cut down by 100 billion rupees, and the central government or the federal government also took different austerity measures. So around 350 to 400 billion rupees have been earmarked for the subsidized fuel prices, but it can only meet the requirements of 4 to 6 weeks period.
Right.
If the prices remain on the higher side, the government is going to provide the subsidized rate for motorbikes and rickshaws for 6 weeks period. But if this crisis lingers on, then we will have to explore other resources. So that poses a major challenge.
Right.
For everyone, and it is also going to put pressure on the prices, because we have seen the prices have started witnessing a surge in the local market of Pakistan. So it really depends on the duration of the crisis, that how much long period it's going to persist.
So, what does your expert analysis and the prediction? Do you have any prediction for the ongoing crisis going on?
Actually, if war ends today, that will take certain few weeks period to streamline the prices. So it's very hard to give any prediction, but it is hope that the Pakistan's diplomatic efforts will yield the positive results,
Right.
and concerned parties will be able to sit together and find out amicable solution.
Right. So another thing that I would like to talk about is the Pakistan's public debt surges to rupees 80.52 trillion. That is a huge amount now. So how much should we expect in the future as well?
This Ministry of Finance has tabled a report before the Parliament under the Fiscal Responsibility and Debt Limitation Act, under which it's bound to report every year about the overall public debt situation. So this report has been tabled before the Parliament, and overall the public debt has gone up by almost rupees 9 trillion in financial year 24-25. And the per capita debt has also risen more than 300,000 on per individual basis. So the overall debt burden has gone up, and the main reason of debt increase is that there is a gap between overall revenues and expenditures of the country. So there are two ways. One way is to increase the revenues, and the other way is to curtail the expenditures. If we want to curtail expenditures within the envisaged limit of the Fiscal Responsibility and Debt Limitation Act.
Right. So Pakistan's inflation, another major concern for everybody right now in the crisis situation. Everybody's actually worried about the rising prices of the daily commodities and everything other than fuel. So it may return to the double digit. There are reports. Sir, if it happens, how much boom we are going to see in the prices of the commodities?
In recent talks and parleys held with the IMF, Ministry of Finance and IMF have revised upward the overall CPI-based inflation-related projections. Earlier, there were projections that overall CPI-based inflation will hover around 6 and 6.1% for financial year 25-26. Now they have revised upward, and there are projections that the overall inflation may touch 7.5%. But month-on-month basis, there are different scenarios. And one scenario predicts that if the fuel prices are going to escalate in coming weeks, it might result into crossing the overall CPI-based inflation into the double digit. So, keeping in view this situation, the overall monetary policy will also are expected to be tightened under the IMF program. So it's a double-edged sword for Pakistan, because on one side the prices will increase, and on the other side monetary tightening means the interest rates will go up. So overall, this war is not good sign and omen for Pakistan's economy, because we are import-dependent country, especially fuel as well as RLNG. So this fuel dependence will push up burden of higher prices. So overall, on average, CPI will go up, and month-on-month basis, it is expected that it may cross and land into a double-digit zone again. We have seen in the past higher inflationary pressures, and people of Pakistan have suffered massively. But after signing of the IMF program, we have seen a massive reduction in the prices. But now there is another phase or wave of higher price increase. But we hope and pray that this war should end, so that we go into the normal phase of the economy, where we see higher trajectory of growth and reduced price hike.
Right, fingers crossed, sir.
Fingers crossed, of course.
Thank you so much, sir.
Always welcome.
That was all for today. If you want us to discuss your favorite topic about economy, do let us know in the comments. Till then, keep watching All of Your Business.